Salam alaikum, buenos dias, que sambilah hakutara a todos. I pray you guys are doing great. How you guys are doing? I hope you guys are doing fine. Blessings and peace be to all you guys and your family. I hope everything is well. Everybody's in good health. And we are striving and doing what we got to do daily in our lives to accomplish what we want to accomplish, right? Or to finish what we want to finish. I wanted to come in here just to speak about a little bit about the way the African cultures, right, looked at things totally different than what us Westerners are here in the Americas, the way we look and perceive things. And the example that I wanted to give today is, you see how we, right, January the 1st is New Year's Day, right? Right? We're celebrating, supposedly, the new year. But when we analyze and look at it, really, what's new about it? We are still in the same season. In a lot of places where we live at here in the States, it's wintertime. So the New Year's that we follow here, really, there's really no significance. There's nothing really new about it. Contrary to what the African cultures follow, a new year for them brought a difference, brought a change. It was primarily when crops were ready to be grown, when they were anticipating the rain to fall, because they understood that rain fed the planet, fed the earth, fed the vegetation, and they knew that food was going to grow. And it was very important for them that time, that new year for them, which in most cases was September, is when it was either hot already or becoming more warmer, more hotter, more scorching. And they knew that it was the new year, new time for rain and for vegetation for they could eat. And they would prepare the land, right, for this rain. The men will go out, and if they seen anything dead in the ground or whatever, they will pick it up, old leaves, old branches, animals and stuff like that, and they will try to clean as much as they can to kind of clean the area, because it was an important thing for them. It's important to have things clean for something could commence. It could commence in a good way, in a positive way. There were tribes that women would put these, I'm going to say these ankle bracelets on with these rattles. And men would come out with drums. And these women would dress semi-naked in some of these tribes and dance, right? And these dances were symbolic. And if you don't understand about symbology, you will not understand what does it mean really for them and for us as practitioners in Nkisimalongo. The women would dance in a provocative way, rattling that rattle in their legs symbolizing the noise of the rain. The men would play the drums. You know, you had drummers, symbolizing the sound of the thunder. And then there was a group of men that they would stand while the women were dancing, and the women would dance provocatively because the woman was considered the mother. Like we say here, Mother Earth. We know that a lot of us don't say Father Earth. We say Mother Earth. Why? Because Mother Earth gives forth to us to nourish us. Just like a woman, or let's say the African tribe, the woman they were looked upon like, these are the women that give birth, give life, give nourishment. They were almost considered like the key of the rain. But the men were considered the rain, the actual rain. The woman had the key, but the man was considered the actual rain. In these, let's say, traditional and preparation that they made for the beginning of the coming of rain, because they wanted for it to rain. So the woman would dance provocatively, so provocatively that the man will be so enticed that they will ejaculate. And once they ejaculated, that was considered and looked upon as the falling of rain. You know, it's the same way we look at the soil is the womb, and the seed of the vegetation is this spermatozoid of the man, the male. Yes, the woman has the soil to germinate that seed, but without the seed, it doesn't produce. Same way they would look at it. The woman will give milk to the child to nourish the child. But if the vegetation was not grown, if there was no rain for vegetation to grow, how would the woman be able to give nourishment to the children? Because there's no nourishment for her. So it just shows the difference, right, of how the African tribes, right, will use these forms of dances, of things, as a symbolic way to call upon the rain, so the rain will fall and will give them vegetation and food. Very interesting how these people understood, because you have to understand that these people believe and follow, well, the traditional ones follow a cosmology, a cosmogram, and they know that the cycles of life, the way they operate in the cosmogram. The same way they'd seen and they understood that when you passed away, you did not die. You actually went into another realm. You continued on living, but you are now in another realm, in another space, another time, another place, you didn't die. The only thing that died was your flesh. But the spirit continued. Same way they understood that it wasn't the first time they ever have been in the flesh. They have been here before, incarnated before, in another place, in another person. You understand? It's just interesting how these symbology and the symbolic things that they do, how do they look at things and how do they perceive things, and the rituals and the things that they do to call upon something so significant as the rain. We all know that we need rain. We all know that. And without rain, we know there's no crops, there's no vegetation, there's no food, there's no water. It just amazes me and it interests me, right, in understanding these small details about the African cultures and their traditions and their practices, how they manipulated things to their benefit, manipulated even weather to benefit them. And they use other things. They use certain animals that did not need, they could live without water for an X amount of time. I know there's some type of ram or some type of goat. It's a mountain goat or a mountain ram. I'm not sure exactly which one is it, but there's a mountain goat or a mountain ram that lived in the mountains, and they will go for a long time without drinking water. You know, they wouldn't die. They lived up in the mountains where there's no rivers or anything. So what some of these people will do, these tribes, the men will go out and hunt this creature, because they understood that this creature, without drinking water, without rain, could survive. And symbolically, using symbology, would hunt that animal without killing it, would perform a certain ritual, and then let that animal go. In other words, using that animal and making a ritual for they could survive also when there was no rain, when the land was dry. You know, small little things like this are very important to me. And I just came out here to share a little bit of these understandings, you know, that, and the African people were not the only people that did things symbolically to bring certain tempests, whether it be rain, hurricanes, sun, you know, all types of things, children, for women to bear, food, animals. They were not the only ones, but you see it predominantly in the African cultures. If you're ever interested on anything like that, do your research, look it up, and benefit off of it. Salam alaikum, malaikum salam, que Sambi la kutare. Have a great day. Talk to you another time. Please thumb up the video for the algorithm, If you need to contact me for any reason, my email address is w3qin1973@gmail.com. And I will get back to you as soon as possible. Be safe.